Okay, so I'm 22 years old now. I'll be 23 in July. And I feel like I have gone through some really key lessons since being on self-improvement and just in my life in general, even before being on self-improvement, that I think are really important and have really helped me to get to the place that I'm at now. And that is just a couple steps ahead of most people, or where most people want to be, not playing video games, not watching porn, I've got like a little business that I'm working on, I'm into fitness, that kind of thing, right? Just a nice place that I'm in. And I think there's 6 probably lessons that I think are quite important that I've managed to come up with that I'm going to teach you in today's video that you should probably learn before you get to 25. The first lesson is get a girlfriend and then break up with them. And this doesn't mean that if you've got a girlfriend now, you have to break up with that girl. If you love that girl and things are going well, then great, right? Everything's going fine. You can stay with that girl. But I've got a particular friend of mine, and you know what? The other night we went for a few drinks. We were watching the football game. And I was talking to him. He's been with this girl for about 4 years now. And he keeps giving me little hints and keeps talking to me in a certain way that's making me feel like potentially he might be thinking of breaking up with her. And from what I understand, this is his first girlfriend. And I recently broke up with my girlfriend that I'd been with for like a year and a half. And then I had a girlfriend before that I was with for 3.5 years. So they're the only 2 girlfriends that I've had. And I've been through 2 breakups. And he was asking me for a bit of advice, on like what stage did I get to, what mindset was I in that made me want to break up with these 2 girls that I was with. So I was giving him some advice, and it just made me think like, shit, there's guys who are my age, who are like 22, 23, who are still on their first girlfriend, which is fine. But I do think I learned a lot of valuable lessons from being with a girl and then actually having to go and break up with them because either things just weren't working out or whatever. And the lessons that I learned from breaking up with my girlfriend or the girlfriend before that, with the similar lessons really, is I learned to be able to confront difficult conversations, because it is a really difficult conversation to have. If you're having those thoughts where you think you want to break up with a girl, it's really heartbreaking and it's a really difficult thing to do, and you can keep putting it off and coming up with excuses. I'll break up with her after I've quit my job, or after I've like done this gym session, or after we've been on that holiday or something, right? You come up with a bunch of excuses as to why you shouldn't break up with them. But if you have those thoughts going through your head of, oh shit, maybe I'm going to break up with this girl, I don't know if it's working out, then you know that it's not going to work out, right? So it makes you, forces you to have to confront really difficult conversations. And I think that's a really valuable skill that's helped me in jobs and with having to talk to friends and with having to talk to my manager and stuff, being able to go and just do difficult conversations, even, that conversation that you need to have with someone, and you keep kind of replaying the conversation in your head. You think about all the different outcomes of what the other person might say, and then what you'll say back to them, and then your reasoning behind why you brought this thing up or whatever. That is going to happen in your life all the time. And I think being able to actually do difficult conversations, have difficult conversations with people, is a really important skill. So that's the first thing I'd give you, is if you haven't had a girlfriend already, obviously get a girlfriend. You're going to get so many, you're going to learn so much from just getting a girlfriend, and how women are, how to treat them, the kind of some arguments that you might have or whatever. There's a bunch of stuff you can learn, but this tip is specifically if you've never been through a breakup or never had to dump someone, then there's a bunch of lessons you can learn from that. As hard as it is difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. I do think this is something that most guys should probably have done before 25. I'll tell you a little story. The first girlfriend I was with, I was madly in love with her. And I was convinced early in the relationship that, I'm going to be with this girl forever. This is my wife. This is everything. And there was a little thing playing in the back of my head that was but you've never had to go through a breakup. And I had one of my best friends who also was on his first girlfriend, and then he went through a breakup. And we were all around at my house drinking one night. This is years ago, 5-6 years ago, and we're all just drinking. We were all kind of drunk. And when you get to that stage of the night when everyone's really drunk, and then you kind of start to spill out all the emotions, and you have these deep conversations and things like this, right? And my mate just said to me, listen, mate, I'm super happy that you are happy with this girl and that you think you're going to marry her and it's going well. I'm happy for you, but I kind of wish that you went through a breakup, because it does teach you a lot. And he was right. And yeah, I've learned a lot from being in that relationship. And then the relationship I had after that was even better. And I'm not going to sit here and give anyone relationship advice, because I've not been in a relationship that's worked out yet for me. But I do think it's important to have gone through that breakup period, that difficult conversation, because you do learn a lot from it. All right, the second tip, a little bit more lighthearted, is go and get your newbie gains, okay? So newbie gains is something when you first start going to the gym, if you've never worked out before, it's like muscle that you're gonna build really quickly. So when I first started properly going to the gym, I gained a lot of muscle. I went from super skinny to actually decently muscly, and now I'm past my newbie gains. So I'm making extra muscle on top of the newbie gains. But your newbie gains are maybe 60 or 70% of all the muscle you'll ever have in your life. So your body's gonna make muscle really quick, and then it's gonna be diminishing returns after that. So you need to go get your newbie gains, because it's gonna drastically, it's gonna make you look way better, way more healthy, way fitter. And it's just something there's no excuse, because it doesn't take that long to get your newbie gains. It might take 1 year of going to the gym consistently to get your newbie gains. So 1 year going to the gym consistently to get 60% of all the gains you're ever gonna get. And then for that extra 40% on the end, that's where the 10 years of training comes in to get that 40%. So it's a really nice quick win. If you've not done this already, and you 20, at my age, 20 or 22, 23, 24, and you're nearly getting to 25, 25 is the cutoff point, man. Get your newbie gains in, get them through the door, right? It's easy, there's no excuse. And the last thing I'll say about the newbie gains is when I was able to build more muscle at the gym and actually feel better about the way I looked, and actually look in the mirror and be oh shit, I look all right, I'm pretty happy with the way I look. It's going to massively improve your confidence. And, when I've been going out to the pub and stuff with my mates, my local pub that I go to all the time has a little mirror behind the bar. And I'm always just seeing myself in the mirror, not getting really vain, oh yeah, I'm super sexy, nothing like that, but just it's just a confidence booster. You just see it and you're it's better to look in the mirror and be oh yeah, it looks kind of good, than look in the mirror and be oh fuck, I'm super small, oh look how skinny I am. It's better to be more confident. So it's just going to help your confidence as well. Third tip, go on a lad's holiday. So I've only ever been on one lad's holiday, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm on self-improvement now, pretty deep into self-improvement, right? I'm not watching porn, I don't drink alcohol anymore. Well, not as much, right? I did an alcohol video, you can go watch that. I don't drink alcohol as much anymore. But yeah, I have actually got a lad's holiday coming up in July, so that's my second lad's holiday. And why do you need to go on a lad's holiday? You might think what's this self-improvement channel? You're telling me to go on a lad's holiday and drink and get drunk and do drugs and stuff, right? Not necessarily do drugs, but just go on a lad's holiday. I think it's super important that most guys have gone on a lad's holiday, because one, it's fun, and the second thing is, it's actually kind of daunting. It's really quite scary to go on a lad's holiday, your first one, and you're gonna learn independence. You're gonna learn to go on holiday without your parents, because every time I've been on holiday for my whole life, it's been with my parents, until very recently in my life, the last 2 years, maybe 4 years, I've pretty much just been going on holiday with friends. I've been on holidays with my girlfriends in the past, and it just teaches you that confidence, the ability to book the flights by yourself and spend quite a lot of money on something that's you spending it rather than your parents paying for it and that kind of thing. It's just a good way to learn independence and management as well. I've always been the one that manages the lads' holidays as well. None of the other lads have ever booked any of the shit. They're just oh, Joe will sort it out. All right, fair play. Right, I guess I'll just sort it out. That's fine, right? I get to learn how to manage shit better, and that's fine for me, okay? So you learn quite a lot of stuff going on lads' holiday. You're gonna learn how to just be with a group of lads away from the parents, right? And you can kind of do more things. You maybe go speak to girls. You can maybe go out clubbing and stay up really late, drink loads, and it's just, you learn a lot of stuff from just general life experiences like that. And I'm quite surprised at the amount of guys who get onto self-improvement. They're right, monk mode, right, I'm not doing anything. I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna do any of this stuff. You can learn quite a lot from going on a lad's holiday. And yeah, you're completely right that a lad's holiday isn't necessarily a good thing for business, for my YouTube channel, for example, because maybe I won't be able to record. I'm going to be hungover for a week afterwards, poorly. I'm not going to be able to come to my business with my full energy. It's going to have an impact on my body, my physique, everything, right? It's a negative thing. But the amount of stuff that you learn from going on them experiences and going on holiday and going to a different country and meeting new people, those experiences actually translate into the rest of your life. So it's actually a great fucking investment. I'm not saying you need to go on a lad's holiday every month or even every year. Just go on one at least. Fourth thing that everyone should do before 25 is get used to learning new skills. I know a lot of guys who get into a career, they get into a job, and they kind of just do that, and that's their thing. And they never go outside and try and, not outside physically, but outside of their area of knowledge and try and learn new things. And that's, I guess, what you subscribe to this channel for, right? You're already on it, so well done, mate. Right? You're trying to learn new things, learn new mindsets, learn new techniques, and how to do something at the gym or increase your testosterone, a diet. You're the kind of person, if you've got this fine video 11 minutes in, whatever it is, who is obviously ready to learn new things. That's great. So keep doing that, mate. And become an expert in something as well. So as well as learning new things, really try and hone in your time and focus onto like one particular skill. This is something that's helped me personally. So currently I still work a 9 to 5. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore, and I'm trying to get out of that job. That's why I'm running this business, right? Why else would I be doing this? I'll just be honest, like I just want to get out of this job. But that job has helped me a lot, right? It's like pays all my bills. It pays quite well. And I've been working at it for 3.5 years, and I've done jobs before that and everything. And the particular skill that I have become an expert in is digital marketing, specifically PPC, which is like paid, like Google ads and YouTube ads and things like that. And that's a very particular skill. And if I was to leave my current job and just work fully on this and it didn't work out or something happened, whatever, I could probably just get any job anywhere near me that for that particular job role and get like 32 to 35,000 pounds a year, like easily, right? It's because I've developed that skill and become an expert in it, and a very specific like skill that, you know, a lot of people pay a lot of money for people who know that skill to do. So just become an expert in something, and then also just learn things. Just never think you're above learning something new. Fifth thing you need to do is you need to identify your weaknesses and your insecurities. So my main weakness is confidence, speaking to girls, speaking to new people. That's my biggest weakness by far. And also like confrontation as well. I'm not very good with confrontation, and that's a weakness that I've identified. And if, you know, I used to be a bit like, oh, I'm great. I don't need to do anything extra. I'm just sort of like, you know, I always thought I was a bit above everyone else. Like I'm running businesses, I'm running dropshipping businesses. I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. I'm going to the gym. You're not. I'm making more money than you. You're not. But like, okay, you can have stuff going for you. You can have like things you're good at, but you need to like identify the things you're bad at, the weaknesses in your life, and actually do something about them, right? It's good to get that kind of stuff identified early. And for me, it's speaking to girls, and it's like confrontation. So what are the two things that I'm going to do about that? Well, confrontation, I've been thinking about, and I'm being totally honest with you, I'm scared of doing it, is like boxing or like Thai boxing or something. I want to get into fighting because that would teach me confrontation. It's not so I can like defend myself or anything, or like be, you know, hard as nails or anything like that. It's just so like I can get used to the idea of confrontation, because in my life, there's going to be confrontation. There's going to be people who disagree with me. It's even just like verbal disagreement is like, I think if you got used to being in the ring and fighting and people punching you and stuff, you just get used to kind of that, do you know what I mean? Like confrontation. So that's one thing I want to work on. And then the second thing is speaking to girls. Again, this is why I'm going on this lads holiday in July. I'm going to be able to go speak to girls. And I'll be totally honest, I'm like a little bit of a pussy when it comes to speaking to girls. Like there's like, we go out and into our like city, like on a night out, and there'll be loads of girls there, and all my mates are like, oh, should we go speak to those girls? Oh, those girls are so hot, should we go speak to them? It's like, yeah, I want to, but I'm fucking scared to do it. Like genuinely, like I'm just scared to talk to them. Like I kind of think in my head, like, okay, this is what I'll say to them. I'll go up to them, ask them this, and then it just doesn't I never do it. And that's a problem that I'm really trying to get better at. It's one of my weaknesses. And yeah, I feel like if I'm speaking to girls abroad in a different country on like a lad's holiday, where they're kind of in the same mindset, maybe obviously like if they're on a girl's holiday, it's probably more likely that they don't have a boyfriend and this kind of thing. I'm coming up with excuses even whilst I'm recording the video, man. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm self-aware, but it's like, that is my first kind of step like that I'm going to do to try and solve that. Is just go and speak to girls. I need to develop that confidence. I need to go do it. And I know how like cold approach works. The more you do it, the more no's that you get, the better you're going to get at it. I get that. So that's one of my weaknesses. So you need to do the same, right? Just identify your weaknesses. This doesn't take long. Just sit down and just think like, fuck, like what am I shit at? And it probably is going to be similar to me, like speaking to girls, confrontation. Maybe you're just lazy. Maybe you just don't ever work. Like I can't say I'm lazy because I'm not. I work super hard. I'm working all throughout the day at my job, and then I come home and then I'm going for walks, I'm going to the gym, and then I'm recording videos, I'm editing videos, I'm working in my school community. I'm constantly working, right? So I'm not a lazy person. But I know a lot of guys who are very lazy. Like there could be guys who are really lazy, like don't work on a business and don't like try and like improve their life. They're just lazy, they're just like playing video games and stuff. But they might be great at talking to girls, and I'm shit at it. Like that's, you know, we all have weaknesses and we all have things we're good at. So identify those early on. And the last tip I'll give you kind of goes on from what I was just talking about, which is start work on a business, like something that's purposeful. Like I think every man should do this, to be honest. I have friends, like one friend who's a musician, who's like working on that. That's their passion. That's their purposeful thing that they want to do. But a lot of my other friends just don't. And they're kind of directionless. And like, I've got one friend who works at a pharmacy. I've got one friend who works like at a accounting thing. And it's like, they just work these jobs and they don't like try and do anything else to get out of that. And for me, I'm not saying I'm the best at this at all, but I've got this YouTube channel, which is something, right? And I've always tried to do that something extra. Like, what's your thing that you're doing that's extra, that's like specifically like money related, like to make money? And I think every guy before 25 should start working on that thing, because one, you're going to learn a bunch of lessons from failing at that thing a bunch of times. And two, like, what if it works? Great. Like, that's fantastic. You're then working on something, making money from something that is purposeful, that isn't just making someone else rich. And this is the whole idea of freedom, like financial freedom, time freedom. For me, the biggest one's time freedom. I don't want to have to be at a certain place at a certain time. Like, I want to be able to work on my own terms. And that's a lot of why I'm building this YouTube channel, is to help you out, give you advice from me. I might only just be a little bit ahead of you in terms of your plan as well, but also to make money. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I want to make money from YouTube. I want to make money from my community that I'm building. Like, why would I not? That's the goal of it, right? To make money and to prove to myself and to prove to you that it's possible. And that's the goal. So get something set up like that. And it could be SMMA agency. It could be a YouTube channel. It could be anything, right? I don't know, anything. And just work on that. Have something else that you're working on. Right, bro, that was about it. Hope you got some value out of that video, mate. Hope you found it helpful in any way. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.